What is going on, folks? I pray to God, unlike yesterday, y'all can actually hear me right now. If not, let me know. I'm sure y'all will. It's me, the GREG, Greg to some, Mongo. You've been bushwhagging since 1992. It is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite. So that means it's time for Boom Goes the Dynamite. We've got a lot to get into, of course. Last night's NXT was an interesting show as we get to see the strength and the growth of that women's division. We also got to see Tony D'Angelo get his ass whooped again for the fifth week in a row. So Mongo no hat. Yeah, hey, look, once you decide to let the hairline go, brother, the hat game can calm down a little bit. You know, let's look at that. You see that right there? That ain't coming back. That ain't coming back, bud. That ain't coming back. Mongo, that's better than what Cookies called me. That's better than what Cookies called me. Cookies called me Aiden English. Which to be fair, hey, ain't nothing wrong with Aiden English. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Of course, Dynamite tonight is looking like a pretty big one. We've got a huge world title match between Darby Allin himself, the AW World Champion, and the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita. So we'll see what goes on there. Darby, of course, at the moment, not our favorite as the pod is united on this one for once. I gave my opinion on something on Monday about how that man should not be kicking out of some of the shit he's kicking out of, but it's fine. It's okay. It's whatever. So yeah, let's talk about NXT. Let's talk about what happened last night. Let's talk about Mason Rook and how, for some reason, they're using music for Rook that is 14 years old. Darby is kind 2.0. Yeah, you know, he's like Mankind and Jeff Hardy put together, and unfortunately, just for some reason, it was more indestructible aside the fact that he's 160 pounds soaking wet. I like Darby as a wrestler, but like, god damn, can he just? You should be able to just avoid stuff instead of just. I mean, I think you could just shoot him in the face in the ring and he'd kick out. You know. Um, but yeah, that's a whole other thing we can get into later today once I have some folks backing me up. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with NXT. NXT last night showed a lot of what to expect when it comes to the women's division. Lola Vice is being hounded by about four different women. So I feel like we're going to be seeing a multi-woman match for the title pretty soon, but we'll get into that in a little bit. The show started off with Tatum Paxley and Lizzie Rain taking on Nikita Lyons and Zarya. Lizzie Rain, the new young hot thing in NXT, with the probably one of the most divisive finishers in wrestling right now. In fact, if you're watching live, and if you're not watching live, if you've caught us on a replay somewhere, let us know what you think of Lizzie Rain's finish with Thunderstruck. I've seen people say that they think it's intuitive and impressive, and I've seen others say that it just makes everything look too fake. I am of the opinion that it's cool, and sometimes the rule of cool is all you really need. If shit looks interesting, that's fine. It's hard to put this kind of stuff against things from like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, let alone 40 years ago. You gotta suspend your disbelief a little bit. You know, I look at wrestling in the same way I look at like action movies and like martial arts movies, where a lot of that shit would not logistically make sense in the real world, but it looks cool, and I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. So I think that's probably the best way to look at wrestling for me. But if not, you know, let me know. Let me know. I think it's equivalent to Alistair's Black Mass. Can we hit on anyone? Yeah, that's kind of my thing, Tito. Is It's not too complicated. It doesn't require a lot of heavy lifting on her part. I think it's pretty rad. All the opponent has to do is kind of lift her up, and compared to like all the like triple jump arm drag you see out of the corner from like luchadors and things, it really isn't that big of a deal. And not that I have a problem with that stuff. It's fine. I like it. But like if you're saying that this is too much, then what that was also too much. You gotta like hold the opponent's hand, do a triple jump, wait they're waiting for you to do whatever you're gonna do. If you're okay with that, what's wrong with the kick? You know? That's all I'm saying. But yeah, last night Tatum Paxi and Lizzie Rain defeated the team of Nikita Lyons and Zarya because once again Zarya, as Kenny likes to say of our podcast, is a loser. As far as the matches go, Zarya just woman can't buy a win. She did walk out on the match, which I guess is supposed to give her a bit of an excuse on the record. But hey, a loss is a loss, man. Nikita Lyons is once again taken out by Thunderstruck. Gets pinned. And Nikita, what's going on, Kanisha? Someone will join me shortly. Right now it's just me, but I'll get some backup soon, hopefully, because my damn oxygen's gonna run out. Nikita, there was a clip, and I would love to show it. I'd love to show it, but God forbid TKO strike our channel and blow us up for showing 5 seconds of a clip. But an LFG clip went out today showing Booker T kind of not really getting onto her, but just like, hey, Nikita, back off on the sexy a little bit. You know what I mean? And coming from Booker, that is hilarious. Mr. That guy, anytime Lola shakes her ass and hits the running hip attack, anytime Stephanie McCare did the devil's kiss, now Nikita does it, and it's too much. You don't want to do too much. I don't know. I think it's a bit goofy. Yeah. It's weird because that's kind of Nikita's whole shtick. Is that that's her gimmick. She's sexy. She shakes what she's got. Does the leg drop thing. That's kind of her whole deal. So Booker's saying she's one of the most talented women on the roster, and then saying she needs to back off on the thing that kind of got her there is an interesting. It's a WWE thing where like whatever gets you to the dance, they might just throw it away anyway. We've seen a lot of wrestlers go to WWE and their name is changed and their entire gimmick is gone, and sometimes it works out. Same as Zayn, it worked out. Male Generico, you know. Um, and then sometimes it doesn't. But I Nikita, I feel for her as someone who has had both of my knees reconstructed. I do feel for her. Like I want to see her succeed, and kind of overcome what is really rough surgery to have at such a young age. And she's taken off a lot of weight. She's changed her move setup. She's trying, and I want to see her get over that hump, and hopefully she can. Um, but yeah, just the idea of taking away, telling her to back off that, unless it's like a TKO thing, which again, like you don't know your fan base, and that's something that TKO it has a habit of failing to understand. Um, but yeah, Lizzie and Tatum get the dub to start the show off. It's all right. It's a decent match. Ren Sinclair is still on the shelf despite being the speed champion. She's walking around on crutches. I don't think it's a real injury. I don't know if I'm sure there's a report out there saying if it is or not, but she keeps getting hit while she's on the crutches, which is kind of like a dead giveaway that it ain't real. And if that's the case, don't Seth Rollins yourself, please, Ren. Me and Mike gonna have some money on you. and Kendall. We kind of need y'all to focus up. Let her shake her ass. I agree. Fuck it. Let her do whatever. Let her do it. Let her do it. Got her the dance. As long as she can improve and get better, it's fine. Kendall has a match with Kalani Jordan in the main event. Ren Sinclair didn't want to be in the match because I didn't want to be near it because she didn't want to distract her. Kendall wants her there because they're best friends, they're sisters in battle, and unfortunately for for Ren, that is exactly what happened. So she kind of saw her own future there. But Kendall and Kalani, spoiler alert, the main event, great fucking match. Kalani, I don't know really why she's even still there when she's already been a TNA World Champion. She was the first ever North American champion for the women. She's done almost everything but the NXT Championship, and really she doesn't need it. I was saying to the boys last night, put her on the main roster and have her like win the US or IC title like the moment she shows up. Give us a little Paige debut. Um, because she is gifted as all hell, and she's finally found her personality. Just take her to the main roster. It's time. It's been time. It's way past time. Naraku made his in-ring debut, the former Evil, and he took on Lince Dorado. Lince, who, if you're unfamiliar, if you're not watching AAA, is a regular on AAA now, and he's also working as a trainer and a coach for NXT, AAA, and Evolve. So even though he's not on NXT a lot, he is still signed there as a coach. So you'll see him more and more the more you kind of watch their other stuff. Naraku kind of beat the hell out of Lince and just hits the fisherman suplex, then does the Abyss, which is his old New Japan, one of his finishers. Everything is evil, which is an STO, a simple ass STO. And Naruto, yeah, Naruto. Naraku, which apparently is also the name of an anime villain that I didn't watch, so I have no idea what the fuck that's about. Um, Naraku's finish is a simple ass STO, which he needs to update that. And the thing about Evil or Naraku, whatever you want to call him, the thing about Evil is New Japan fans were not upset to see him go after all the House of Torture shit that lasted for apparently far too long. Um, he's great. He's a good heavy hitter. He's fun. Cool ass entrance. Can't deny the entrance isn't sick. But god damn, that an STO. He needed a bit more than that. That is not as impactful as a lot of the other shit we see. I don't know if he needs like power bomb or neck breaker or maybe just like some kind of strike, but it's not great. And he has a submission he could use, but I really don't like the STO as a finish. I think it's one of those moves that is passed by as far as like big high impact. Like that's like a thing you'd see in the 80s. You see it on like NWA or Stampede or whatever, and you see like, oh, the great Sasuke shows up with the STO, and that's the finish. In 2026, I don't know. I don't know. It's not impressive. He's fine. He did fine. He does not really have. They're clearly. Do y'all remember when Julia and Stephanie showed up at the same time? And it was clear they were both going after the NXT Championship, and they were both booked as top tier. And it felt odd once Julia kind of got hurt and they had to give the belt to Steph. And one seemed more ready for the moment. And one seemed like they gave them all the shit, the great entrance, the really cool entrance with the mask and shit. and really didn't land. And with Julia, it really had to do with her being injured when she showed up. But like I'm seeing a similar pattern with Evil and Mason. Mason has yet to have a match, but has been far more impactful. Mason has laid out Tony 3 weeks in a row, and we'll get to that in a second. As a setup, yeah, Tito, like STO and then something else. STO and then like a dragon sleeper. STO and a choke. STO and like a moon, whatever. Like an STO just doesn't feel. It's like finishing them off with a suplex. You're like, all right, I guess. Um, we got EK Prosper with the debuting Tate Wilder and Sean Legacy taking on Birthright. It does not go well because for some reason, uh, Tate is trying to prove himself. So the faces kind of don't know. They kind of don't trust each other to make it look good. They kind of don't want to they don't want to tag in like they're supposed to, and it leads to Tate taking the wild ride, or he misses the wild ride and stacks. And Connors hit him with some pretty great boots to lay him out 1, 2, 3. Later on in the night, he goes and sees Robert Stone, who has an interesting night, and he tells Stone, "Hey, debuted, lost, but hey, I did debut, so I want a match next week." And he's going to end up facing Keanu Carver, who again shows up to NXT going, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to do interviews. I don't want to speak to people. I don't want to do vignettes. What the fuck are you here for?" I guess he's here to kill people and nothing else. Which, all right, but it's just a weird gimmick. I don't understand it. Tatum Paxley and Lizzie Rain are backstage after the match, and Tatum is so happy with the win that she decides to give Lizzie Rain a title shot next week. For some reason. So Lizzie Rain, she beats Nikita Lyons twice, gets herself a North American title shot. Again, nothing wrong with Nikita Lyons. Could have beaten somebody else. There are a lot of women in NXT that are, even though we just caught up 5 other women that are waiting for the call up, could have beaten anybody else. After that, we hear from Shiloh Hill. He's talking about Tristan Angels. Lizzie says that she has history with Angels. And that sets up the Angels debut next week. He's going to whoever he faces next week, he's going to beat the shit out of him. He apparently can shear a sheep in 60 seconds. I don't know if that's impressive. Sounds impressive. I'm sure as shit I couldn't do that. Even at my physical peak, I'm probably couldn't have done that. We'll see his debut next week. After that, we get back to Emily Agard's next thing. Emily is the woman who she made her debut as an interviewer last week, talking to Keanu Carver. And this time she's talking to OTM, Lucien Price, and now all I can think of is his name that me and Kenny gave him, Diabetic Horse, Bronco Nima. Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. Emily is here to give you some insight on wrestlers who have impressed you in the ring, but need a bit more zhuzh, a little bit more story behind them. So I like this thing that they're doing with her. I kind of hope they keep this up. With Keanu Carver, it was weird because I just don't like Keanu Carver's gimmick of I don't want to be here. It's kind of I don't want to watch it. So you and me on the same boat, brother. But OTM has gotten over with us in the past year and a half. These two have really shown up and stepped up. And originally we called them the Jada Parker Project, as Matt coined it many moons ago. Jada's moved on since then, and she's apparently about to be feuding with an Italian Neidhart for some reason. Um, and here they're doing a cookout. They invite Emily to a cookout, and this is where we meet Lucy and Price's little brother. This kid has to be no older than like 12, and he looks like he's a little tall, but you see his face, he's baby face, and he still has the high pitched pre puberty voice. Uh, but then we get like some emotion here because this is when we learn that Lucy and Price is now responsible for his brother because their mother passed away recently. Um, it gave him a chance to talk about that side of his life, and he kind of teared up and had to fight back tears and talk about how much his brother meant to him, and that he's here to make sure that his brother never has to worry about anything because he's always going to be here for him. And he's wrestling because he's getting the money to make sure that he can keep his brother in school, make sure he has everything he needs to succeed in life. It's really cool, man. It's really cool. This is the most we've gotten out of OTM outside of like them just being smarter than most other tag teams in a while. I've really enjoyed this. Um, Bronco, of course, he gets asked a question, and the questions that Emily was asking these two was, "What is something that we don't know about the two of you that you can give us?" Bronco said that Lucian stepped up to be a great role model for his brother after his mom died. So that's how we learned that his mother had passed away. In response, he says that Bronco was a great artist. Bronco actually, I don't remember if they said it was a painter or something. Like he's an artist. He didn't like to brag about it, but it helps him kind of get his creative juices flowing, which is cool. Really cool. Um, yeah, yeah. I like the general consensus of y'all is that this was a good bit. I do like this. After that, OTM kind of wraps it up saying that, hey, they're gonna get back into doing things, and they plan on getting the belts, and they plan on again Lucian stepping up for his brother, and they're gonna be a tag team for many years to come. I loved it. If I wasn't already on the OTM train before, I think this would have really got me on it. Let's belt these boys up. They've earned it. They've busted their ass. They've grinded for years. I mean, again, we saw him debut with Jada and Reggie. Remember Reggie? Remember Scripps? Remember that? Yeah, that shit was ass. But Jada we saw was like the jewel, the diamond in the rough there. And OTM, props to them. They came back from the injuries that they had, and they have been great. And I really think it's high time to do something with them. But I'm really excited for another one of these segments with Emily Agar. I think these are great. I love these. I hope we should see more of people that we kind of don't know a lot about. We could get a lot out of the birthright with this. Jackson Drake and Noam Dar, and our boy Noam Dar, Alicia Fox. Noam Dar returned to the ring last night, take on the former Evolve champion Jackson Drake. The rest of Vanity Project is here along with Micah Lockwood. Um, Dar looked really strong in the opening moments of this, outmaneuvering and kind of clowning the young stud. Um, it was really good back and forth. The last time Dar showed up, he got hurt. He came back from an injury, came back, got hurt again. And the match between the injuries, he looked a little rough. I think he put on some weight, like some muscle, and it just didn't feel like the old Noam Dar. But this match, he was faster, he was smoother, and it kind of felt like old Supernova 11 was back. So I don't know what the plan is for him going forward. I know he's been there for a long time, and he's Noam Dar has been there for so long. He was there when 205 Live started. Okay, he was there for the Cruiserweight Classic. Now I don't know if y'all remember how long ago the Cruiserweight Classic was. But that was many moons ago. That was back on the WWE network. That was, I think, was it 2016, 2015, 2016? So at least 10 years ago. He's been there a decade. around the time the network started. Yeah. So he's been there at least a decade. It's I'm happy that he's still working there. I know he's there partly as a coach now, but I really think he's a great mid card guy to have around the NXT locker room to kind of help those younger guys get ready for better. And again, he introduced us to our girls, Lash and God, Mara Sade now in TNA and Lash Legend on SmackDown. So we'll always have a soft spot in our hearts for Noam Dar. Next up, we had the the match ends with Michael Lockwood getting a distraction for the ref, allowing Drake to get a kick in the dick, and then going for the 450 splash. 1, 2, 3. Jackson and Micah are so great together. I don't. It's something about and they Kenny and Matt mentioned before. They're like the DX of NXT, not in the same sense of what they were about, but just that they've got their China. Jackson is clearly the Triple H of the group, and then you got Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws, and Smokes and Brad. It's a really fun group. I think NXT more than any other brand in WWE really nails characters. I think character work is at a peak in NXT, and then when they go to the main roster, they sometimes lose it. But in NXT, it's strong, and you feel it. And this is one of them where like I did not expect them to put Jackson and the rest of Vanity Project with Micah Lockwood. I didn't know what they were gonna do with Micah. That's not what I was expecting, but I love it. Every time I see them together, it puts a smile on my face. You know. After that, Dark State shows up, and they are ready for a tag team title shot. Now they were reminded by Brad here, by B Rad, that they were the ones to take the belts off of Dark State, and they were the reason that half of Dark State is feuding with each other. Dark State said that they were just kind of waiting and biding their time, but now they want a shot. Saquon says it's going to be Cutler and Osiris challenging for the tag titles next week, but Cutler cuts them off. Him and Osiris are united in trying to make sure the group is whole again. So Cutler and Osiris, instead of going for the tag titles themselves, are putting Saquon Sugars and Dion Lennox in a tag title match next week. Now, I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen here. I don't know. I don't really see them taking the belts off of Vanity Project right now. I don't know why you would. Um, Dark State had 2 runs with the tag titles. They even beat the Hardys for them in a TLC match to get their second run going. So they've had a good run. Dion and Saquon are clearly ready for singles time. Dion more so than anybody else. Dion has looked incredible anytime he's got a singles opportunity. Transition is always tough from NXT main roster, and the casuals don't watch NXT. Yeah, that's the hard part, Tito. And I'll give main roster credit, especially when it's on Raw and SmackDown. One person they nailed Trick Williams. Everybody else has been. Carmelo took a long ass time to get going, and now he's even though they got him, they fixed him. He's now doing nothing. Ilya, what's going on with him? Fatal Influence is doing okay, but on Raw, Javon over pretty much instantly. Oba over instantly. They got what they were about pretty quick, and then the night they brought up Sol Ruka and Ethan Page, they nailed what they were about. Ethan Page, smarmy prick, not really a flashy, innovative guy in the ring, but he's just a little douche. He's just a smarmy asshole that gets his way, and that got over in the match that he had, and Corey Graves, who also is a really great addition to Raw because he's done a great job of giving Michael Cole the background on the AAA and the NXT rivalries, like Ethan and Javon. So Ethan on one show became one of the top heels on Raw. Perfect. So Ruka shows up, gets a debut match against Liv Morgan, shows the fuck out, does all of her crazy ass flips, uh, shows she can, just all the really innovative offense she has. Even though she loses, she looked great in it, and the crowd was chanting her name and doing this is awesome chants for her first match, her first appearance on the main roster as a wrestler on main, like outside of Saturday Night's Main Event months before that, back in like December or November, whenever it was. Her first official match as a Raw superstar, they got it right. So lately, they're doing pretty well with the call ups, but it's a tough transition. It really is, and that's why now more than ever, it's so important, and it's really good to see when NXT nails a character. And NXT has really done that very well with pretty much everybody we're seeing on TV right now. Even if you don't like them, even if there's somebody in NXT you fucking hate, you don't even want to see. I don't like Keanu Carver. I get what he's doing. I just don't like it. But he's explained himself. I think it sucks personally, my opinion. But in ring, he's a beast. In ring, he's a monster. I just don't like his gimmick, but I get it. You know. Maddie says they done. Yeah, I think Dark is done. I think next week they do the official split. I don't know what happens with Cutler and Osiris. You know, last year, this time last year, we were trying to debate who's going to be the leader of Dark State, and I had hung my hat on it being Javon. And I still wish they had done that because I think a heel Javon, that's like cocky Javon as the leader of the group would have been awesome. But he's doing great by himself, so it's fine. Um, but when they started out, it was really interesting. And then we saw Osiris and Cutler work, and it was they had a lot they had to work around. Osiris especially was rough. But we've seen the progress for these two guys over the past year, and especially the match last week, where they really came together and kind of they're not great, but they're better than they were. They've improved, and I'm worried about what happens when Dark State splits because I don't know if they're gonna keep Osiris and Cutler as a tag team. I'm worried they get sent to Evolve. That's what I'm worried about. Because if you send them to Evolve, it's a death wish. Very few wrestlers have gone from NXT to Evolve in the short time we've been able to do this. Most people that go from NXT down to Evolve don't make it. You know, Nikita has. Nikita has come back and she's okay. Wendy Chu is currently down there. I think she is still the Evolve World Champion, so good for her. The Smart Brothers TNT went down there after for some reason kind of just not being a part of the birthright anymore, and now they're gone. I mean, we saw a lot of NXT talent go down there just to get axed. So if Cutler and Osiris go down there, I'm afraid that's what happens. Keep them on NXT as a tag team. Maybe they're not Dark State. Maybe they can have a different name. Because tag team wrestling in NXT and WWE is almost dead. Y'all know this. We've discussed this many times. They have a lot of good tag teams, but they just cut a shit ton of them over the past 2 months. And the tag titles are never on pay-per-view. They never really seem to be that important in the grand scheme of things. And I think losing another tag team that really could be good if you give them some shine, like Osiris and Cutler, would really just further fuck up what's going on at NXT right now, which is a refreshing of several divisions that the main roster is fucked up tremendously. But we'll see. We'll see. Tito brother, I don't know. Genuinely, I don't remember. Like the Vision were on Mania. You know, they had that 6-man with speed, but the titles weren't on the line. You know, Priest and Truth. They defend on SmackDown every now and then. They don't defend on pay per view. Women's tag titles got defended on at Mania. That was cool. But like, I don't think Triple H likes tag team wrestling. If I'm being honest, um, I don't think old Paul likes tag team wrestling, and I think there's enough proof over the past few years to validate that. I mean, we just lost a fucking New Day. He just lost a New Day, brother. For what? For what? You signed the Motor City Machine Guns for a year. For what? You signed God, Gorillas of Destiny. For what? For nothing. So I don't think Triple H likes tag teams. I think Shawn does. It's odd. I think Shawn likes tag wrestling a lot. You see him try to really push it in NXT. Does it work all the time? No, but he tries. Tag runs around black and gold. I know, man. Well, and that's another thing. Tito is like when black and gold was going on, the tag stuff was great. And a lot of the stories were really good, and the feuds and the wrestling was great. And then he goes to the main roster as the head booker, and for a little while it's fine. But over the past 2 years, it's just gotten so bad. And at one point I was one of the guys going like it's TKO. It's The Rock, it's TKO. They're fucking up his booking. But now I think it just might be him. Now, is it as bad as Vince was before he got fucking booted out of there? No. And anybody that's still trying to get Vince back on this train, uh, go back and watch like 2016 to 2019 WWE, and tell me that that's better than what we're doing right now. Please go ahead, by all means. Okay, god damn. That's the creative shit. It's just I don't know. They've had a lot of great tag teams, and they've had a lot of opportunities to do cool shit with tag teams, and they just never do it on the main roster. So, what can you do? Backstage, Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne are talking. Heights believes he's going to team with his friend Miles in a tag team match next week, but instead it's going to be Miles, the NXT North American Champion, the Men's North American Champion, and the NXT Men's Champion Tony D'Angelo in a tag match against EK Prosper, not EK Prosper. Who's the guy that beat the shit out of him? God, who is it? Anybody? I have to look it up now. I was thinking it's EK Prosper, but I think there are like 5 different guys that have like very similar sounding names. Um, Cam Hendricks, Cam Hendricks, and Mason Rook. Miles. We were expecting it to be Miles and Tavion, and instead it's going to be Miles and Tony. Tavion gets upset because hey, thought we were boys, and the whole you're letting your title fuck up the game. You're letting the title fuck up what we're having together. And I mean, we're clearly heading towards the split between Miles and Tavion officially. Last night, Tavion says, "Hey, you know what? Hope Tony has your back as much as I had yours." Uh, it feels like Zarya and Soul, where we're like, "All right, let's get on with it." Zarya and Soul should have broke up this time last year. Zarya and Soul should have broke up way before they did. Miles and Tavion, that we should be done by now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, he is the. Can you hear me, Mike? Before I do this. Uh-oh. Ah, shit. I'll put you back off for a second. Where were we? Oh yeah. So this is where we learned that Mason Rook is going to have his contract signed. He comes to the ring, and I'm so tempted to play this music. I am so tempted to play the music because it is very funny that WWE did not give Mason Rook a new song. Tito said, "Don't." I know, man. I know. Just drop the link. If you go and look at the clip of Mason's entrance, you hear his theme song, and it's Mike said it sounded like Benoit's music, and it kind of does. It's like Benoit's song without the lyrics. And I heard it, and I was like, it's all right, not bad. There've been worse. And today, someone on Twitter posted that it was a very similar song, if not the exact same song, that used to belong to another Mason in WWE back in 2012, Mason Ryan. If you go look up Mason Ryan's 2012 theme song, it is beat for beat, riff for riff, same exact intro, the exact same song that they gave Mason Rook. I don't know if that's lazier or smarter than them using AI for music. So I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if I should complain about it or not. You know? Mason, of course, he shows up and God, he is so babyface. This motherfucker needs a beard. Badly. Badly needs a beard. Badly needs a beard. Sad and lazy. Samoa Joe should have been part of the MFT. Samoa Joe should have just been treated better by that company. For being honest. Outside of his fucking concussion problem. He should have been treated better. Mason comes in, signs his contract, says he's turning heads. Everyone knows about Mason Rook. Even John Cena knows about Mason Rook and how important he is to the future of the WWE. And then that's when we get the chant, he's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. Mason Rook. Mason Rook. All right. Okay. Not bad. Not a bad chant. He lets it go for a little while. I say I know a few that look like that, Tito. I know quite a few. He says he's here to crush everybody, but he's here for gold. D'Angelo shows up and he says he the first time you attack me, it's fine. Let it go. You're making an impact. It's cool. The second time you attack me, that's a problem. And before he can go further, Cam Hendricks shows up. Tony D'Angelo has gotten his ass whooped every single NXT, damn near since he won the belt. All he does is get jumped. All he does is get jumped. It's so fucking weird. I don't know why they book him. I really don't. He went from being the Dom that was fucking dropping bodies to just getting thrown through walls and shit. Like, what happened, Tony? So as Cam and what's up, brother?
All right, can you hear me?
There you go. I can hear you. What's going on, man? How you doing?
It's been a long while since I used my old ass iMac. I try to connect with these, but you know what?
I had problems yesterday, so you have problems. It's fine. It's gonna be an all week deal, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, now that he's here officially, he is our reigning "Are You Fucking Serious" wrestling trivia champion, main event, Mike Ciampa. Mike, we are deep into NXT. Did you watch NXT last night?
I did.
All right. I need your opinion on a few things.
Okay.
That we've covered. First up, what do you think about Naraku?
Yeah, he's he is Japanese Matt. That's what I think of him, like you said last night.
Bro, he showed up on the ring, and I was like, "You can't tell me that's not Matt in a hoodie."
That is that is definitely Japanese Matt. It's gonna be strange because he, along with Mr. Rook, they got two big guys now, two super heavyweights now on the main roster.
Mike, I was saying that, what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when they brought in Stephanie and Julie at the same time, and they were both like at the top already, and you got to pick one, and one of them got this cool ass entrance with the mask and shit, and then the other one went on the titles. So I started feeling with old Evil and Mason Rook. Evil got the cool ass entrance, but Mason seems to be the one getting more over. And
that crowd. This is when you know, and we've always said this, that NXT is a true pro wrestling crowd. They had a chant for that motherfucker, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Already,
like, he has a chant. Okay, bet.
Yeah, it was just like Cena kept sharing his shit and doing that, and then they added the like singing his name at the end of it. This is cool. I do wonder if that's like something that happened on the indie scene that maybe we didn't know about. But regardless, yeah, NXT will get a chant going, Mike. NXT will get a chant going more than anybody else. That went down. It looks like Dark State's finally gonna split next week.
Yeah.
I am kind of worried for the state of Osiris and Steve Cutler after they split, because I don't think. Yeah, I know. I was like, at best they're gonna go to Evolve, and that's just delaying the inevitable if they go down.
Yeah, that's just going down there is the equivalent of death by 1,000 cuts. Mm-hmm. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. So there's no need to. And I said it when they had their tag match last week. I'm like, all right, these dudes, they're about to go. Surprisingly, they won.
Yeah.
But when I looked at them last night, I'm like, oh yeah, y'all definitely leaving. If that title shot now is to Dion and Sugar, yeah, y'all gone.
Like they're not taking that belt off of Vanity Project next week.
Yeah,
they're taking the belt off of the next week. So they're going to split, and then we might get like a couple of weeks of Steve and Osiris trying to save the friendship, and then done.
Yeah, they're and it's sad because outside of the tag team titles, what did that faction accomplish?
Not shit.
Not a goddamn thing. They were coming, and then they came in hot like they were the new Shield 2.0, and yeah. Anything.
I was saying this time last year, we were like, who's the leader? Like, is Javon the leader? This could be cool if they really do this, right? And they didn't.
Yeah.
And like their big win is like they got the tag titles back off the Hardys in a TLC match. Like, that's cool. And then that was it.
Yeah.
That was the height.
Yeah, that was the height. And, briefly, what up, Batty? What up, Cookies? What up, Kenesha? Tito? I just knew that at least Dion would at least get a legit shot at the NXT title. But then again, this is what happens when you put the trust in old motherfuckers like a Joe Hendry and then now Tony D post Oba. Mm-hmm. When you delay the growth of your newer and younger stars. And Dion is definitely one of those. Hell, put Sugar. Sugars can go after the North American title.
Yeah.
So now what are they going to do? They're going to most likely, like you said, they're going to split them up. They're going to feud. And then one of them, most likely Dion, hopefully ascends up to the NXT title.
Yeah. I mean, well, this is another thing. Like, why is that built on Miles when you could have that on Saquon right now and really be doing something with them?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Miles thing, they're trying so hard, but it's not connecting with any of us. And I really don't know anybody that watches NXT personally, like people that I actually interact with on a regular basis that like Miles as the face that's holding this division down.
He
There are better options.
he won us over initially because we were like, oh, this dude's deaf. And then you start to see him every week, and you're like, wait a minute, is this motherfucker actually deaf? Or he just had as Cody Rhodes lisp.
Partially deaf. Yeah, it's like partially.
Like
both of them were like, yeah, how's your wrestling deaf? He's not fully deaf. Oh. It's like a what's his name? Crazy Steve. Like he wrestles blind. He's blind? Well, he's partially blind.
Right.
It's still crazy. It's still wild. It's like not as impressive as it was.
Right. It's not like this motherfucker's out there like, what's his name from Mortal Kombat? Kenshi? It ain't like he out there like this.
That'd be sick.
And after a while, it's like, yeah, this dude, there's no more layers to him. You know, he's young, he's athletic, and he's partially deaf. That's about it. You know, there's no more, there's nothing else to him.
That's all he's got. Yeah, they have not found his next level up. Tavion, oddly enough, has been more interesting since getting his hair twisted up. Like he's at least trying something. He's clearly about to turn heel on Miles, which I'm very excited about. Because before you hop on, I was like, this is a split that should have happened a long time ago, just like Soul and Zarya.
Yeah,
you know, they're dragging it out too long. Did you see the OTM interview?
I did.
What'd you think about that?
You know what? Like, and I know we were talking about that in the chat. Like, which one was it? Bronco.
The brother is Lucien. Lucien had the brother.
Hey, Lucien, and then I also mentioned one of them. I don't know if it's Lucien or Bronco, about his mother passing, and I was like, oh, that's
Lucien and his brother, their mom passed. That's why he's taking care of his brother. And then like Bronco was there for him through all the stuff, all the troubles, and they also mentioned that Bronco is like an artist and he like expresses himself through that shit to like get his creative juices flowing.
And you know what? That's cool as hell. Like, like that, and like watching that interview, it's like yo, that's dope. Like that we actually get a somewhat in-depth view of who these two dudes are and why they're together and why they're doing what they're doing. And it's like, you know what? That's how you build up, especially if you're going to keep them as faces, and that's how you're going to keep the crowd behind them. That type of interview is what does it.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm actually really excited to see more of that woman's interviews and like one-on-ones of folks that we don't really hear a lot about.
Yeah.
I'm y'all just think that woman's fine. I mean, that's not
of course
she is, but that's all. That's not why it was good. It just happened to also be a fact.
Exactly. Like that's half of it. Cookies. You know, that's the half truth. Yeah. You know,
I don't want to hear that shit from you, Cookies of all people. Cookies, I don't need to hear that shit from you.
Right.
We've heard what you like.
Between you and Batty, two of the horniest motherfuckers we know. Don't you judge us that way, Cookies. I ain't having it. God damn it. Of course that woman is fine. But it was also a good ass interview, unlike the disaster of last week. Oof.
Brother, that shit was ass. That was awful. That's so
yeah, you know,
Keanu, what do you want to do? I don't want to be here. Fine. All right. Okay.
The two of you are a tag team, Batty. You just got to accept it at this point. Horny ass tag team, and we love the both of you.
they're a tag champions. That's what they are. Main event. One of our girls from the Ring QCC, Kendall, showed up. Taking Kalani. This was a good ass match.
Yes, it was.
Not that we need to expect anything less. Kalani's all obviously incredible, and Kendall is clearly just a natural at this shit. They had a really great back and forth. Kendall doing her best to kind of catch Kalani going out of her various springboard dives into the ankle lock. Kalani again and just has really found herself as a heel. It's fantastic. Yeah. She should go up. She's ready to go up. Just go to
but I mean,
if you're not putting the NXT title on her like next month, just send her up.
To be honest, and I know we had mentioned this the other day, they should have brought her up instead of Soul.
Yeah, honestly, you're right. Absolutely right.
They brought her up. so should still be going after that NXT Women's Championship. And but it is what it is. Kalani's great. She's a freak of nature. Kendall's great. Her and Ren. First of all, Ren was looking so goddamn good last night. I'm like, good God, Ren. Our baby she was looking gorgeous last night.
She was. Yeah.
Like those two. Like how we feel about. How Mongo and I feel about the Ren QCC. They are wrestling savants. Mm-hmm. Those two women are two of the best in the world, and at some point, I need Kendall with that belt. I need it. I need her with that belt. I mean, I get it. She's still relatively new, although she's been there for a while. But HBK, at some point this year, this is what needs to happen, okay? And that's I'm showing my true bias. Ren needs to be the North American champion. Kendall needs to be the NXT Women's Champion.
That's right. That's right. And look, if you can't do that for whatever reason, watch some of those women's tag titles down to NXT and let those girls have a run.
Mm-hmm.
Some gold, some better than the speed title. Ren deserves more than the speed title. Some gold should be on these women.
Yeah, yeah, definitely that's option B. If you don't want to put the both singles belts on them, have them lose to whoever at the time they get a shot, whoever is the women's tag team champions, have them lose to Ren QCC and let them go amongst all three brands.
Yeah, just show off. Pop up on the SmackDown and Raw, show what they can do. Yeah. Earlier in the night, Ren is worried about causing a distraction in the match, and unfortunately for her, that's exactly what happens. Because Lola and Izzy get in a fight, they come down the ramp fighting each other. They run into Ren. This is how I knew, Ren's not really hurt, because they just bumped Ren while she's in this boot. So don't Seth Rollins yourself, Ren. Be fucking careful. We don't need this shit happening now. They come down and Ren gets knocked over. This leads to Kendall missing her big moment. That's enough for Kalani to knock her off the top rope and hit the one-of-a-kind moonsault, 1, 2, 3. After this, everybody surrounds Lola. Kalani, Kendall, Izzy are all taking shots, and then it ends with Kendall and Ren watching as Izzy lays out Lola. But it seems like we're setting up a four-way for the title.
Yeah, and I love it. I said it last night. I think this is my favorite division, probably in all of wrestling. Between this division, this NXT Women's division, and probably the men's AEW World Title division, those are my two favorite divisions. And it's crazy because they lost the likes of all of Fatal Influence. They lost Lash. You lose the likes of
they did lose Soul. They did lose Soul.
Lose Soul, yes, they lose Soul. Roxanne, although she left the Lord, you still lost her. They lost a lot of pieces. And boy, did they re-up. And you got the likes of Lizzie Rain. You got Callie Armstrong. I mean, and we've given her shit over the years, but it looks like she's gotten herself in a good shape. Nikita's actually somewhat worth a damn.
I'm glad you said that, Mike. I was saying when this show started that Nikita has really earned. She's busted her ass, and after seeing her last night in the match before, she has really worked on. And as someone that's had both knees reconstructed, I know how tough that really is on your body. And for her to get back into the way, and she's moving faster than she was before she got injured. I need to give her props. Really, she's looking great.
You know what? Good for Nikita, because at first, let's be honest, she was there as a sex symbol. She was there as a sex symbol.
Did you see Book? You see that clip of Book from LFG telling her she needs to back off the sexiness?
Hey, thanks, Book.
Booker of all people. Booker, the one that
the man that has about 40 strokes each week from losing his goddamn mind. But you know what? But with her, it was too obvious. If you're going to have the sexiness, at least have the ability to wrestle.
Yeah.
and kudos to her. Like, she went through those knee injuries. She got herself into wrestling shape. And hey, man, she's doing her damn thing right now. So hey, shout out to Nikita. And then you got the likes of Izzy, who's become a monster, and then you still got Zarya there. So look, that women's division is fucking stacked. And I've been saying it over the past probably a few months now. That division has been carrying NXT.
It has, and I think once a year we're like, oh man, they lost a lot of women in this division's looking a little rough right now. Let's see what happens, and they reload so fast. The women's division has really carried NXT for the better part of 2 or 3 years.
Yes, it has. Yes,
Like Oba, Trick, and Javon and Ethan were great on the top, but the mid card was a little rough, and tag team shit was rough last year. But hey, Fatal Influence was great. Lola was great. Like all the women that kind of carried things last year were really awesome together. The women really, I think, dominated this show. They opened and closed it, and most of the segments backstage were segments with the women. So again, NXT is the women's show, which is when it honestly outside of Black and Gold, NXT has been at its best when it's been the women's show.
Yeah, because
since 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you think about like when it originally started, like when you had the Four Horsewomen, you had Paige, when you had all them girls down there too. Like it's kind of like it's reverted back to that when you had all these women who were becoming stars there when low-key carrying that brand. So yeah, and it's even more evident now that they're carrying that brand. Yeah,
Cookies that too. Bianca and Rhea Shayna their time.
Rhea, Asuka, when you had Ember, Athena, when you had all them down there, yeah, the women have always kept that brand afloat and always kept that brand rocking when nothing else was working. Because let me tell you something, that men's NXT title scene,
it's weird. I'm liking Tony as this like whatever his new version of himself is. The problem is Tony gets his ass beat every single week. That really, and it's like, oh, who's the guy that keeps beating his ass? Not Mason, the other guy.
God, I forget his name.
Cam Hendricks.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Cam Hendricks, and why should we care about him? I don't know, but he keeps beating Tony's ass.
Cam Hendricks sounds like a former defensive end. Like Cam, is he one of these NIL guys like Cam Hendricks? Like who the hell is that?
All I know about him is that he keeps jumping Tony, but I really don't know much else about him.
Maybe we need to conduct an interview with him. NXT.
Hey,
okay? Get to learn more about this motherfucker.
Get your girl on it. That'd be nice.
Because did you talk about the Mason Rook's theme?
Yeah, I was talking about that before you hopped on. That like it is not. It's not even like it's close to it. It is Mason Ryan's 2011 theme song. It is legitimately. It's the same intro to and like you said, it sounds very Chris Benoit-ish.
Yeah, like you should have saw my antennas perk up last night when he was coming out, and I was hearing that song. I'm like, I know you fucking lying. I heard that
they brought him back from the dead. Like, oh shit!
I'm like, whoa, Death Rebel, you actually snuck that in. like the likes of Mongo and I wasn't gonna be able to hear that. Okay, I heard that immediately.
Mike in the chat was like, "That Benoit? That sounded a lot like Benoit."
I'm like, oh, no.
That's Lizzie Rain, Kanisha. That's Lizzie. That's from the UK. She's great. She doesn't like Joan Jett. She looks just like Joan Jett.
That is the perfect description of Lizzie Rain. Joan Jett
looks just like her. Mike thought a demon was showing up, brother. That's a theme song that you hear that and you immediately go, oh fuck, oh shit.
Your butt cheeks start to clench a little bit, like, oh, hold on. No.
Have you seen that video? I can't remember who the influencer is that did it, but it's like he's like a an exorcist, and he's trying to exorcise the ghost of Hulk Hogan. And he's like, look, if you listen, if you hear Chris Benoit's theme music, you gotta get out the house. You gotta run because it's over. I saw that last night, and then that song played. And I was like, am I being punked? Am I being played by this company? I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
I'm
Yeah,
hesitant if I want to open the link.
but it sounds just like it. Yeah, and again, it is exactly Mason Ryan's old theme song. And I was like, is it lazier to reuse a theme song you haven't used in 15 years, or use AI to make a theme song? Like, which I guess I'm happier with this than the alternative. You know, kinda. Like, how lazy can you be? But also, like, I guess it's better than giving him like a Danhausen song that fucking Sol Ruka got.
Yeah, I mean, Raven and I were talking about this last night about just like AI and how people are using
I'm sure that drives her up the wall.
Oh
Like,
my
gee,
brother,
I'm sure.
because
I can only imagine.
her company works directly with the music industry, and oh my god, because
Oh man,
it fucks over the actual talent,
yeah,
and that's her biggest thing. Like, it fucks over the actual talent when these people cut the middleman, the actual man or woman, it cuts the human out and just relies solely on AI to get this shit done. So, AI has created the slipperiest of slopes. For sure. So I mean,
I like how
question.
I think we're fighting back against it pretty well as our generation and younger. I think we're actually doing pretty well as far as like, hey, fuck this, we don't want any part of this. But yeah, like with music and art, like you're taking the soul out of art when you're making it with AI. That ruins the whole point. Is you're expressing yourself and your ability through this to make something that's beautiful. And if when you just AI make a song for me, it doesn't hit the same. There you go, Batty. Fuck AI. Let's talk about Dynamite tonight. I knew from what I know what your wife does. Like, I know she hates that shit. I know she can't stand it. Let's talk about Dynamite. Dynamite's a pretty good looking show. We're starting the Owen Hart tournament soon. The brackets are going to be announced tonight.
Damn, these years be flying quick, don't they?
I'm telling you, man. I felt like we just got done with like 3 different tournaments in AEW.
Yeah, like damn, it sure is.
We're about halfway through the year, Mike. We're almost halfway through.
God damn.
I'm telling you, man, when we were younger, these days they used to take longer. This shit.
Oh yeah,
took a lot longer.
When we were in the glory days of Black and Gold and talking about 205 Live and all that shit, time was definitely slower. But COVID and that can be a whole nother episode by itself.
That's true.
What COVID did with time, but that opened up a whole bunch of conspiracies, which I'll be glad to talk about. But
that's a whole other episode.
Yeah,
it's a whole other episode. I mean, you're all living good as well. Hey, you know what, Batty? We are.
We are, Batty. Hey, we ain't getting older. We getting better.
Damn.
Although our limbs pop more than they did when we all met, but
can't drink.
Mongo had a head full of hair.
Yeah,
I didn't have Kenny. Can you imagine the time where Kenny wasn't gray? Yeah, when we all first met each other, Kenny's beard looked like mine. Okay.
Yep, not a scratch of gray in it.
A scratch of gray. Now that motherfucker is the silverest of foxes.
Looking like Father Time.
Looking like a garden gnome.
He was old, but not that old.
Right.
He was always our old man, but like, damn, that motherfucker really turned gray. We'll hear from MJF tonight. MJF, the former world champion, of course, he's going to challenge Darby. We'll learn if he's going to do the no hair, if he's going to lose his hair for this match. What do you think of the stipulation of Darby's title versus MJF's hair? Because I thought what they were going to do was they were going to have MJF. If MJF lost, then Hangman could challenge for the world title again. Or if MJF lost, he would have that same stip where he could never challenge again.
Right.
When it's the hair, it's like the hair. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like we already did that with Yuta, and but if if you give MJF the same stipulation that he gave Hangman, it's like you're running that back too. But
and then you know for a fact he's winning because ain't no way he's gonna lose that shit.
Exactly, and I guess the hair route is the best way to avoid the elephant in the room, which is when the fuck is Hangman coming back? So I guess we're gonna be without Hangman for longer. And
yes,
I mean, it would be funny to see a bald MJF. I'm not gonna lie, that would be fucking hilarious. You know what? The more I think about it, the more I like the stipulation. Go ahead, give us.
You're talking me into it. You're talking me into it.
Give me
He's gonna have like a Burberry skull cap.
He's gonna be looking like Vince Jr. Vince Jr. with a Burberry do-rag.
You know what? You taught me into it. Let's do it. Let's
do
it.
I need that visual.
You're CM Punk maybe being done. I heard this rumor, Mike. I don't know if you saw this. So Punk has not shown up since like that one night after Mania, and the rumor is that because all these pay cuts happened and we have not seen Punk, maybe he got asked to take a pay cut. And then the Roman thing happened where Roman said he's not going to miss a night going through the summer, and then all of a sudden the WWE said actually he's missing all of June, and then last night or Monday night, nope, he's back on June, and that's when you were like, okay, so you asked for a pay cut, and he said fuck you, and y'all realized you can't lose Roman. That would be stupid. I don't know if that's true, Cookies. I have no idea. It would be funny. It would be funny if Punk sold his soul to come back just to get fucked over anyway. Like that feels like it kind of feels like justice.
Yeah, sold his soul for that main event at WrestleMania that he desperately wanted forever, and to be the one to be like, oh yeah, we're not taking a pay cut from Roman, but you feel, you're gonna have to run us that if not 50%, at least 25%.
Yeah, let's dock you a few mil and see how this goes later on. Yeah.
And you know what? If I was Punk, I'd be like, I think the fuck not.
Hey, he can retire. I don't know if he can go back to AEW, but hey, fuck, if Aleister Black can go back, maybe he can. Who the hell knows?
No.
I feel like Tony's the kind of guy that he has enough money, he didn't give a fuck. Like because Vince was like, hey, for money, I'll do whatever. But Tony, he's already got billions. I feel like he kind of does hold some grudges, and that has to be one because Punk has talked a lot of shit about AEW.
Punk talked about the whole executive team from front to bottom and from front to back and from back to front.
Yeah, for like a year. For like a year after he came back to WWE, he was talking shit about it. What the fuck is it? The MMA podcast?
Ari
Hawani, yeah. Talk about him. He was on there, talked a lot of shit about him, and he's done promos about him, and WWE crowd didn't give a fuck because WWE crowds don't watch AEW.
Right.
So I don't think he would go. I don't think he could go back.
No, they will keep a latch on that door if he tried to come back there. Like, buddy.
It'd be funny because like Sean Dean was on Twitter when they were talking about Black coming back, and he said, "Fuck no." Could you imagine? It's like, yeah, rumors are Punk coming back. The Bucks be like, absolutely not. Absolutely. No. Hell no. Jack Perry run his ass over with that bus.
Tony Khan, the Elite, be like, get the fuck out of here. And Punk would be the one, and Punk would say the same thing. I think Punk's just taking a little vacation, personally.
I think that's probably what it is. They have a Chicago show coming up soon. He'll probably be there for that.
Oh yeah, he'll be back talking shit. Probably. And then think about the last time he showed up. That's who he was talking to, Cody.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cody's in a feud with Gunther right now. Once that wraps up, hey, Punk, boom, bing, bang, boom. Plus, if you have Punk here, then it would be diluting the Jacob Fatu shit with Roman, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure Jacob's shit is solo. You know?
Yeah. So it's time for Punk to wrestle on Fridays.
There you go. Hey, get your ass on the USA Network, Punk. Back where you belong, brother. Kevin Knight's TNT Championship Open Challenge tonight. After losing a match against Darby that he didn't have to lose, but they put him in the position. He hopefully can get some steam going again. Every week I like Darby less, Mike. And I used to be a big Darby fan, but every week with this world title, I'm like, God damn it. And there's a match tonight. Takeshi's going to be challenging Okada for the international title of the pay-per-view, but he's got to lose to Darby tonight first.
I fucking hate this title run. Get this belt off Darby now. Get it off of him now, because he is slowly but surely picking off the top guys in this roster apart. I fucking hate this run. Yeah, I hate this title run.
And then that should have happened on Collision. I was like, God, this fuck.
We could have continued. We could with all these title matches. First of all, and I've been thinking about it. Imagine like when we had our 1 year, when we did our own fantasy. Imagine if one of us had Darby.
Own Darby? You pull away and never get caught.
Never get fucking caught. Title points every week. Like, come on, how fair is that? So, yeah, get the belt off of Darby ASAP. What they should have just continued the feud with him and MJF. They could have carried that until Double or Nothing. But to have that man defend every week and knocking off the likes of Ciampa and knocking off Brody King and knocking off Kevin Knight, it's like, okay, this is ridiculous now. And he's going to knock off Takeshita. And Okada's coming for him too. What are you going to do? Knock off Okada? It's like, what the fuck?
And I saw a rumor that like maybe he's retiring soon because his body's too fucked up, and that's why he's giving all these matches. Like, that's not an excuse to make all your top guys lose right now. But he should be so beat up he can't wrestle right now, and instead he's just defying the odds. I get it. He's supposed to be indestructible. He's 180 pounds soaking wet.
He is one of these loose leaf papers I have here. One of these loose envelopes I have here. 140 pounds soaking wet.
And now he's a superhero. That's what he is. He has to be a superhero.
Right. And you got him beating the likes of Brody King and all. Swerve Baddie somehow is making a power move by challenging Bandito
for the Ring of Honor world title, which is what an upgrade.
Like that shit's confusing. And that's another thing with this whole Darby run. It has affected the likes of Swerve like a motherfucker.
Dude, 3 months ago, Swerve, even he had like lost the world title, he had like freshly turned heel. He is like one of the most aggressive fuckers on the roster, and now he's challenging Bandito. And Brody, like Brody also like it's just this weekly or like every night world title, I beat everybody that it's annoying. We've got a multi-man tag match, Orange Cassidy, the Bucks, and Cage and Cope versus FTR, the Dogs, and Tommaso Ciampa, which should be just chaotic as hell. I'm glad I'm not writing that one. I would not be able to keep up with that. Our boy, the motherfucker Ace Austin, is taking on Will Ospreay, which should be a great fucking match. This is Ospreay's first match since working with the Death Riders to get his neck fixed. So I'm assuming we're going to see Will's new offense, a lot less flying, I would hope. Because he said in an interview recently that he can't do the shooting star press anymore. So hopefully this was a way for them to be like, this is going to be Ospreay's new, like, striking, heavy offense. Less flips, less crazy dives. It's Will's evolution.
And you know what? That's the way to extend his career.
Yeah.
Every now and then, pretty much do the Seth Rollins with him. Mm-hmm. Do the Seth Rollins with him. Like, he realized he can't do all, the top rope over the top flippy shit no more. He can do it every so often, but yes, he needs the more striking, ground-based, mat wrestling type of style. And Ospreay is great. He's going to be he's going down as an all-time great. So he can adjust to that with no problem. So I wish if this was 5 years ago, this match would be for some type of title.
Brother, this for like an X Division title would be sick, or like a TNT belt or whatever. But still, Ace is also. I wish I'm hoping that he's gonna get the Kevin Knight treatment soon. Where like for a year and a half, kind of got his ass beat. Now we get to see him rise up. Ace, I think he's had his ass beat enough. It's time to give the motherfucker some opportunity. You know?
Yeah. He needs. That man is too good to not have a belt soon. Either that international belt or that continental belt. One of those belts has to belong to Ace.
They got like 15 goddamn mid-card belts. Put one of them on Ace.
Put one of them. And when we mean a mid-card belt, don't pluck him down in ROH in purgatory. Don't do that.
He deserves more than that. He deserves way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to fuck some mothers. Hey, that's how it happened the first time.
Right.
Sheeta and the Brawling Birds, for some reason, are taking on the Triangle of Madness. And it's confusing, but it should be fun.
You know what? The Brawling Birds,
they're fun.
Every week, I've become more and more a fan of them. Like those
I love them. They're great.
Like, I love that tag team.
Did you see their Mother's Day video AEW did when they're like, "What did your mom think about when you became a wrestler?" And the first scene is the Brawling Birds doing the white chick shit. Oh, you want to talk about mothers? I was like, I love them so much, bro. It's so fucking funny.
I love that tag team. The more I watch them weekly, I'm like, I love these two.
You've been a fan of Windsor since she showed up. The moment she was like, Windsor, you were like, I like her.
I like it, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, this woman, she's a little nuts and she can wrestle. So I'm like, I take that. I take that. And putting that personality with Jamie Hayter, and that gives her more of a personality. I was like, oh, boom, there we go.
Yeah, Hayter is a great like brawler. So all this has done is given her some chances to like break out on the personality side, like you said.
Yeah, because both of them whip ass. They whip ass.
They beat the fuck out. I do their matches on Collision, and it's always these like two indie folks, and you're like, good luck, girls. And in 2 minutes, they've beaten the fuck out of whoever they're facing.
Those two are the female bar. If that is Sheamus and Claudio in female form right there.
And what a compliment, Mike. That is I can't think of a better compliment to give a tag team than that. Then you know what? This impromptu ass brawl, y'all the bar. Like it because the bar was one of the best tag teams of all time, and it came out of fucking nowhere. Came out of nowhere. A tag team we didn't think was gonna work. Ended up being one of the best ever.
Mm-hmm.
Main event, of course, Darby and Takeshita. Should be a great one, but unfortunately, it's gonna hurt Takeshita.
We know the outcome. We already know the outcome.
This is the thing that, like, as long as they have a great match, it's fine. This is that side of like the AEW side and the indie side. Where, like, it's as long as the match is good. No, you gotta. It does hurt them if they lose. It hurts them. It does.
It does. It does because now it's like, okay, if he can't beat Darby, then how the hell is he gonna beat Okada?
Bro, Darby, who got thrown 25 feet onto the concrete floor, you can't beat him 4 days later. You ain't gonna be able to beat Okada. You're losing. You're a loser.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. That's gonna do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow night. I won't, but Mike, Kenny, and Matt are gonna be doing the thing. Honestly, Cookies, that's a great point. This is the kind of company that tournament would have excelled in.
Oh yeah.
That's a good point.
They thrive.
We might talk. That might be something I can talk about tomorrow. What the fuck is that tournament? But I'm gonna have a small procedure done tomorrow. Nothing major. It's not gonna be too damaging. I won't have a voice. So it'll be Kenny, Mike, and Matt doing the thing tomorrow. You can follow us at Facebook.com/Under the Ring Pod and Twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod for all of our news details and updates on our next projects. Anything I write, any shows me, Mike, and Kenny and Matt do. We got Vampires coming up. One more month. Messiest Divorce in Cinema is coming up, baby. Can't wait. Yeah, we're gonna all be fucking just sitting in the chair, got some popcorn and wine, and watching these catty bitches go through the messiest, bloodiest divorce. Cannot wait.
We're gonna be like, oh my, oh, he said what? Oh, fuck. Tune in, folks.
You can also get us at Linktree/Under the Ring Pod to get all of our personal social media links. I am at Greg Bush SK on Twitter and Greg Bush on Blue Sky. You can get Kenny, the reigning Raging Sense Memorial Predictions champion, at RockRiz44. You can get since he decided to show up today, he gets to have this one. The reigning Reggie Simpson Memorial Predictions champion, the main event, Mike Chomp at Mr. Freshbeard. Nobody else gets that because they didn't shut the fuck up. So we got Maddie. They got Maddie Reigns, the forever Intercontinental Champion and the leader of the 2025-2026 Fantasy Wrestling Champions, alongside Mike and Kenny, the NWO, Matty Bischoff at the right answer. Our Street Team Captain in the comments, Tito Borja Maliente, and last but not least, our good friend of Florida Gator, Justin Devontae Baxley. Folks, y'all have yourselves a great night. Enjoy the show. See you tomorrow. And, do the thing. Peace.